Angie! Yes. Look who we've got in the back today. One's actually got his coffee, trying to hide his face. One's actually... Show your face here, lad. We're going to go down. We're not going to the Emirates today. We're going to the Eurotunnel. We're sending these guys somewhere else, across the border. They think they're going to the Emirates, but they're not. Hassan, can you show your black top, lad? Do you really think we're going to give you a lift today? Oh, anyway, welcome people. It's Born and Red. It's on the road show to the Emirates. We've got some Arsenal fans. We're feeling nice, but we're not going to give. We might give these guys a lift today, but we're not going to give 3 points. China,
100%. They're not getting no 3 points today. They are confident. They're a confident bunch today. They're following their start of the season, but I think they know if there's one side that's going to cause them problems, it's us Liverpool boys.
Oh, of course. We might get some predictions of these guys. Just look at him, still hiding away.
You were saying to me it was going to be 4-1 yesterday.
Imagine they win today.
I'm
now.
not looking forward to on the road on the way home.
Oh my God! I hope it's a quiet journey. Because if it's a quiet journey, I feel sorry for them at the end of the day. The kids, they're my nephews, so I feel sorry for them. But look, banter aside, let's get to serious matters. It's a massive game. And how are we going to this game, Gene, for the first time? And I know Liverpool and Klopp have got a brilliant record against Arsenal. But are we going into this game as slight underdogs?
Look, Asim, you can say that we are. If you look at Arsenal's start of the season, to be fair to them, they've been brilliant. And even the game that they lost, they should have won. So they go into this season full of confidence, top of the table. Whereas us guys, we know we've been, lackluster to say the least. And yeah, look, they are sort of favourites. They're at home, top of the table, against the Liverpool side that's not firing on all cylinders. So yeah, they go into the game as favourites.
Yeah. Let's look at Liverpool before we come to Arsenal. I know we talked a lot on the Front Three show, and if you haven't seen that, head to our channel and check that out. Liverpool, we've had some bad news about Arthur. He's out for 3 months, even though I didn't really expect him to come and set the world alight, even when he was fit. But it would have been nice for him to come into the team and give us a bit of an extra dimension, an extra body as well when we need him. But Curtis has been back in training. Kanate, I don't think, is back with full fitness at the moment. But it's good to have him back as well for the last week. Well, I think the big boost is Thiago, because in a team against a young, dynamic, with confidence that Arsenal are playing with, I think it's important to have someone like Thiago to make sure he calms things down and tries to take control of proceedings today.
Yeah, look, Thiago's massive. We know what he brings to Liverpool. He's the one player that brings calmness to our side. He's the one player that can take the game by the scruff of his neck, and he gives us control in the midfield, which no other player that we've got that would no other player gives us. I know Arthur's going to be, look, it is a miss, but I think if we're going to persist with the 4-4-2 or the 4-2-3-1, I don't think he's going to be as big miss. Yeah. But I think come January we're still going to have to dip into the market if he's out for 3 or 4 months, let's say, as predicted.
Liverpool dip into the market in January for a big player.
Well, we don't have a choice as him right now.
What did you have last night?
We signed Diaz last Jan. Look, we don't have a choice. We don't. I know a lot of the onus is going to be on the owners. I think if you actually think about it, the onus is going to be on the owners to go and splash out. Yeah. We don't have a choice. They have to splash out.
Okay, you mentioned the 4-2-3-1, the 4-3-3. It was like a Monday Night Football tactical analysis on the Friday night show with us. But what do you think he'll go for? I was really adamant that Liverpool I think he'll go for a 4-3-3, but I think he'll just slightly, try to take control with, positions of our players, especially with Trent and Henderson. I think that's what, he'll go for, and I think that's what we should go for. Well, you and Avi were saying, look, it sort of served us so well against Rangers, so, why change it?
I really want us to go with the 4-4-2 or the 4-2-3-1, you call it. I think the fans, we've been calling out for the change in our tactics for so long now. And yes, when the one game, I know it was just Rangers, but the one game where we did make changes, it worked.
Yeah.
So I think sometimes you have to persist with the formation change. And I know it's Arsenal; they are flying. We probably do want to get a lot more bodies in the midfield to give us that sort of control. But if you make a change in formation, and Klopp did mention there will be formation tweaks in his presser, so I personally wanted us to go with the 4-4-2 or 4-2-3-1. I just believe that the four that we've got up front will cause Arsenal a lot of problems.
Yeah.
And yeah, look, I really want us to go with that formation.
Let's touch on Arsenal then. It's been difficult to keep these lot quiet for the last 6-7 games. Arsenal fans don't shut up anyway. They keep reminding us of the invincible season, for the last 10 years, a bit like us for the last 30 years, to be fair. But, to be fair to them, they've been absolutely brilliant. And you've seen the sort of evolution of this team and the way Arteta has developed them. And you have to give, I've always been a fan of Arteta, because you've seen that planning, you've seen those little pieces of the jigsaw come one by one, and they've had another great window in the summer and bought the likes of Zinchenko and Jesus. And I think Klopp was touching on it, that he really liked Jesus himself, but Manchester City are just not going to sell to us.
Yeah.
And because the distance was so big and the golfing class was so much that they were willing to sell to Arsenal. But it's improved them, it's made them resilient, and the likes of Jesus and Zinchenko have brought a different mindset to Arsenal, and we've even seen it this season. They've been down a few times, they've been chasing games, and they've not played well against the likes of Fulham, even though they created a fair few chances. But in previous years and previous matches, they would have dropped points in those sort of games. So this is a different Arsenal. Let's make no mistake about it.
Look, it's the winning mentality that the players like Jesus have bought Arsenal. Playing under Pep for so many years, and they know the system, and Arteta knows them as well. So it's probably they know how the way Arteta, Pep sort of play. And yeah, look, the way they've started, they've been amazing. I think Martinelli's been brilliant.
Yeah.
Even Xhaka arguably is one of arguably their best player of the season, bar Jesus.
Yeah.
So their confidence is sky high. They've got a certain set way of playing. Saliba's been like a new signing for them, and
better than Van Dijk apparently.
Well, that's
after 6 games.
I wouldn't go that far. But look, he's had a decent start, and I think the timing for Saliba has been right as well. Maybe if Saliba came a couple of years ago, he would have been a lot younger. The team wasn't firing on all cylinders. Now he's coming to the side. Him, Zinchenko and Jesus have brought a complete different dynamic to Arsenal, and they look like winners. They look like fighters. They're willing to put their neck on the line for the side. And you saw against, I know it's Spurs, and they do tend to beat Spurs, but this is the game for them. This is the game where Arsenal have to produce and show what they're actually about. Up against the Liverpool side that I think they've beaten once in the last 13 games under Klopp. And that win was when we'd already won the title. So I don't classify that as a win. So it'll be interesting to see how Arsenal fare in this game, if they have actually taken that big step up in the light compared to the likes of Liverpool and City.
Yeah, look, some important valid points there. But do you think Arsenal fans have really been sort of crying out for this brand of football? And credit to Arteta and his team, they bought this, and you saw the transition when he was playing, 5 at the back in previous years. But he slowly came onto that 4-3-3 that he really wanted to play, and now he's got the personnel, the likes of Partey to sit in and control things, the likes of Zinchenko to come into the space and control things, and get him an extra man in midfield. But they're playing arguably a side that's probably their biggest test, even though, like you said, they played Spurs and United. But this is the proper acid test for, in terms of their mentality and their sort of confidence in playing the football that they've been playing for the last, month or two. Because, like you said, if you're going to allow Zinchenko to come in midfield, you're going to give Salah the space out wide. So it's just a bit of a cat and mouse today, I think, even though I don't know, it's not clear what system Liverpool are going to play, but there are so many battles across the pitch that you see the likes of Tsimikas and Saka on the other side. I think it's a very, very big battle, and I think Saka will be very confident at getting the better of Tsimikas, because Robbo has done really, really well against him, and I can remember even at Anfield last year, Saka was kept very, very quiet. So that's an interesting matchup. Then you see on the other side Trent and Martinelli. Martinelli was brilliant against Trent, even though they lost the game in the end last year when we were down at the Emirates. I think it was the league game or the cup game. Cup game. Martinelli's always a live wire with us, but there's so many interesting battles. Where do you think?
Always has a blinder against Liverpool. If you look at his past for City, he's always been brilliant.
And he gives our centre backs a headache. For a guy who's not the tallest and not the biggest, he gives our centre backs a headache. And even when he was at Anfield last year, I was saying this guy wins a lot of headers against our tall centre backs. He did play out wide, but it was an interest. Wherever they launched, whenever they went direct, he was winning his fair share. So look, that'll be interesting when he comes, especially into the spaces. Do we follow him and stay tight, or do we back off and pass him on to the defensive midfielders? Like I said, there's so many interesting battles across the pitch. But where do you think the game will be won or lost today?
I think it was. Look, I predicted a 3-2 today, Asim, on the show on Friday, because I genuinely believe that their front, it will be goals. I think there's going to be goals in this game. They've got, like you mentioned, Saka will be confident against him, but we're going to be confident. Our front four will be if we go with the front four, they should be confident against this Arsenal side. Yes, Saliba's been done well, but they've not faced a Nunes, they've not faced a Jota, who's a constant menace. They've not faced the threat of Diaz and a player like Salah yet. So I think, look, they'll be joy for us. Arsenal will get joy as well. I think it's going to be one up front, believe it or not. And people will say it's maybe about the midfield, but for me, I think whoever's front four play well will win the game. That's why I predicted goals in this game.
Yeah. What did you predict?
3-2.
3-2. Wow. 3-2. Right. Okay. Let's go to the predictions then. We'll get these two in the back trying to hide away. We'll get some predictions off.
So if you change your prediction from a 4-1, what?
He's had about 5 predictions this week, but he managed to get one right finally. But I'm going to stick with my prediction, which I went with on Friday night. 3-1 to Liverpool. I think I said Jota 2 and Salah, or was it the other way around? Whoever it is, I'll be happy with that. 3-1 Liverpool. Will concede because they've got plenty of attacking threat. You went 3-2, a high scoring game. I think that's fair to say. Both, even though Arsenal have been brilliant, but we've got, even though we haven't been playing well, they're going to respect us, but we've got plenty of quality to make sure we get in behind them as well. Hassan, let's come to you. What's your prediction today?
Thank you, my 4-1.
4-1.
He's confident today, man.
Are you joking or are you serious?
He knows he has to stick with it, because if it doesn't, I'll go for him.
Chalo, at least he's given us one goal at least. At least he's given us one goal. Chalo. Modet?
Definitely 3-1.
3-1 Arsenal.
3-1 Arsenal.
Scorers?
Jesus. Saka for 2.
Saka 2 and Jesus, yeah. Okay, at least they've given us a goal each. They're feeling kind. It's charitable gesture from them. But anyway, thank you very much. We shall see you. Stay tuned with our YouTube channel. There will be plenty of content flying around our socials today. I've got this guy on duty again after his brilliant effort on Wednesday night with Liverpool v Rangers. We shall break the game down and hopefully we'll be analysing a brilliant win for the Reds. Come on, you boys!